What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Look at, you can see me now. It's time for coffee and math with Miss Donovan. So you guys have spent the last few days solving multi-step equations, and today we're going to go one more step where you have to first write and then solve the equation. So we are going to look at several different examples here. So these are kind of the types of things we're going to be looking at. What kind of equation can we write to be able to find maybe the cost of these shipping cards and stuff like that? So let's just look at a few examples together. Again, we're going to write the equation first, and then the solving is just like we've been doing over the past several days. So we can represent many real-world problems using multi-step equations. And before I forget, you guys want to follow along in your books on page, let me find it here. It is page 151. So this is on page 151. And before I forget, do not forget to take notes. Taking notes is how you get credit for this assignment. So don't say, I don't know my book, get a separate sheet of paper, or I didn't know I need to take notes, or I just watched the video. No. Take notes, write down these examples, work out the problems for your credit here. You never know, like on the last quiz, when you get to use your notes. So it is a good idea to have notes that you can refer back to, examples to look at when you're trying problems in class, or if you're doing them at home, so you have some examples to look at. So write these down. Don't forget. Do it now. Do it. Don't forget. Okay. So 4 friends bought zoo tickets and spent $9.50 each on wristbands for zoo rides. The same day, a group of 5 different friends bought zoo tickets and spent $3 each on the Stingray exhibit. The group of 5 also rented a locker for $8. If both groups spent the same amount, how much did each person pay for a zoo ticket? So first of all, the first group is 4 times the cost of a ticket and $9.50 wristbands. The second group spent $8 on a locker plus 5 times the cost of a ticket and a $3 exhibit. So in variables, we'll say T. We're going to use T instead of X. So T stands for tickets, because if you look, it says if both groups spent the same amount, how much did each person pay for a zoo ticket? So T is the cost for each ticket. And if you think about it, this group, each person bought a ticket and a $9.50, what was it again? Wristband. And there were 4 of them. So ticket plus wristband times 4. And this group got 1 locker to share, but they each bought a ticket and a $3 Stingray pass. And there were 5 of them. So here's our equation. And if it doesn't make sense, just pause the video, reread, think about it for a second, and see if you can make sense of this equation and where it comes from. But now once we have the equation, then we're going to solve it like we did before. So we're going to look at some examples. That one we won't solve. But now flip to page 152 and follow along on this example on page 152. And there's going to be several blanks on page 152, 153. I want to see all those blanks filled in. So if you want credit for your notes, you need to fill in all those blanks. Or if you don't have your workbook, write this problem down on a separate sheet of paper. Not this, but like the work that we do, so that you can copy it into your workbook, or so that I can see the notes. So no excuses, no notes, no credit. So I'll let you read this for a second. And it says, and they even give you this here. So here's the length, and the width is 11.5 feet shorter than twice its length. So twice its length minus 11.5 is what this side ends up equaling. So if L is the length and the width is this expression, okay, then the perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So you guys should know this formula for the perimeter of a rectangle. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And we are told that 37 is the perimeter. And our width is going to be, we said 2L minus 11.5. Okay? So here's your equation that we are going to solve. And now solve the equation. So first thing we want to do is get rid of these parentheses using the distributive property. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 11.5 is 23, and then combine like terms. We have 2L plus 4L, so these two can be combined to 6L. And again, you can fill in these blanks on page 152, add 23 to both sides, so these are the steps we've been doing for a while now. Divide by 6, and we get that L equals 10. So the length of this is 10, but we're not done. The question is not just what is the length, but what is the width and the length. So the length is 10 feet, and our width then is 2 times 10 minus 11.5, or 8.5 feet. So make sure, again, that you are answering the question here. So our length, this one actually did just ask for length, so this is 10 feet. Let's look at another example here on page 153. Before you do that though, why don't you guys pause and do the check problem at the top of page 153. Actually, I don't know why I can use this. Page 153. So look at the check at the top of page 153 and try that one. And then after you've tried that, let's look at this one. So I'll give you a second to read through this. You can pause the video right now and read this problem. So here we kind of explain that the entry fee is X amount. Admission for the art museum is 2.5X. So here's all the different pieces of this one here. Okay. So X is the cost of the entry fee. The cost of the trip to the Science Center could be written as X plus 250 if we add the movie to it. The cost of the trip to the art museum is 2.5X plus 1. That would be for the admission and the audio tour. So if 20 students are going to the Science Center, then we're going to multiply that amount by 20. If 15 are going to the art museum, then we can multiply this total cost by 15. So again, pause, reread, and see if you don't understand where the equation comes from. Just pause it, read it a few times, read through this part a few times, but see if that makes sense to you. And then you're going to solve the equation. So the solution, again, this now continues on page 154. So now this part is on the top of page 154. Once you write the equation, then we're going through the steps that we've spent the last several days on solving the equation. So we will distribute here to get this. Again, pause anytime you don't understand to look at it again. Then in this case, I'm going to get the variables on the right. So we'll subtract 20x from both sides to get here. Now we need to get x by itself, so we will subtract 15 from both sides. And then our last step to get x alone is divide both sides by 17.5. So if we do that, we get that the entry fee per student to the Science Center is $2. So the Science Center, this is the total cost. The Art Museum, this is the total cost. Since they both equal 90, we know we have the correct answer, and this is a blank to fill in on page 154 as well. So you guys try the check problem on the bottom of page 154. Next to that check problem, write the word monkey. I don't know, it seems like a good word to write. So on page 154, next to the check problem, do the check problem, write the word monkey. I'm going to check that in class tomorrow to see that you've watched this, and we will spend, if you don't understand this, that's okay, but try to read through and see if these equations make sense. We're going to spend some time in class looking at some more examples together, but this is your quick intro so we can spend our time in class just working through problems. All right, have a great rest of your day. If If you want more content like this, make sure to smash that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.